We've probably gotten, it's approaching 200 leads so far total. I think we've closed 6 or 7 deals so far. Biggest deal that we've closed so far has 6 different locations. It's a pretty significant deal. So it's been probably close to 100 leads a month. I think just you close 1 or 2 of these big deals and it just covers all that. With big deals, sometimes the profit can be, thousands of dollars a month after everything is considered.
So we have Raphael here at BluMont Building Services. You can introduce yourself and your company. That'd be great.
Perfect. My name is Raphael Morielli. I do sales for BluMont Building Services. We're based here in the Salt Lake Valley. Also work in Southern Utah, a little bit in Las Vegas area as well. And that's who we are.
Awesome. We've been hitting it hard from my perspective, but if you can touch on, from your perspective, the results we've gotten for the past couple months we've been working together in terms of quantifying like how many leads we've gotten, you have maybe on a monthly basis or a weekly basis, opportunities we've created, ones that closed, ones that are still in the pipeline. Go from there.
Sure. That sounds good. And just to clarify, I guess I didn't say this, we're a commercial cleaning company. So janitorial is our bread and butter, but we also do a little bit of carpet cleaning, post-construction cleaning, a little bit of everything. So yeah, Spencer, in regards to your question, so we've probably gotten, it's approaching 200 leads so far total. And I think we've been working together a couple months now. It's been several months. And I think we've closed 6 or 7 deals so far. Some of these deals have had multiple buildings, like our biggest deal that we've closed so far has 6 different locations. It's a pretty significant deal. So it's been really good. We just started that today or yesterday, actually. It's an autism clinic. And we've had, I'd say per month, we've been working together a couple months, probably close to 100 leads a month so far is probably what we've had. Now I go through those leads and I kind of filter them out, like some of them are exactly what we're looking for. Some of them I just need to dig a little bit deeper and kind of contact the customer and find out exactly what they're looking for. And I'd say of the leads that we're looking for, I'd say there's at least usually probably 2 to 5, maybe 3 to 5, like really like solid leads that we're looking for every week. So I'd say maybe about 1 every day. And I try to contact them pretty quick. I try to call them if they have a phone number, email them pretty quickly and, leave a voicemail. Just try to contact them. If it really looks like something we're looking for, I'll try to contact them multiple times. Sometimes that's what it takes, but we've had a pretty good success rate at contacting the prospects and at least finding out what they're going through and then booking a walkthrough for the cleaning.
I think it would be nice to touch on the pipeline as well. So I was looking through it before we spoke. We started sending you leads on February 12th this year, 2025. So it's been, my math is going to be bad, but February to June, it's June 4th today.
It's about 3 months.
Yeah, 3 months. So thinking about cold email, it's a snowball effect. It doesn't happen overnight. It's not like you're going to get a bunch of deals on month 1, but if you stick with it for 3 months, people at your 6 months, 9 months, it just keeps you literally and it's a compounding effect. So mentioning that because I'm curious in terms of the pipeline, people that you've spoken with that are still in progress, people that you're currently in the sales process with, but also people that maybe told you, follow up in 3 months or 6 months when the contract ends that they currently have, or just that is a good opportunity to follow up with them again, because it didn't happen that day you got the lead, but it's still a good lead in your pipeline.
Yeah, and we've had quite a few of those. I feel like every lead is a little bit unique, where some of them are ready to go right now. They want to, potentially make a switch or just kind of get right on the ball. We have quite a few. I'd say there's probably somewhere between around maybe 5 to 7 leads right now that want us to reach out a little bit later. And then some that I've actually talked to, and then they want to reach out later just because their building's being constructed or they're going to move, they have a planned move coming up. Sometimes I've found that these are, from my experience, sometimes the most solid leads, because you kind of get in there, they're ready to go, and they almost kind of forget you're going to call, and then they get super excited. They're like, how did you know? We're willing you to go. And so we've had quite a few of those as well. And some of those, I think 1 or 2 of those have converted actually, or are close to converting right now. So it's been good.
Yeah, I love it. I think one of the biggest hesitations from cleaning companies I typically hear are, okay, you send over a lead. Are they actually a lead interested in cleaning services, or are they a warm lead? Do they know what they're saying yes to? And the thing about it is, like, our clients, you guys at BluMont, you can see the emails that we're sending, the whole email thread, and you can legitimately see, like, they said yes, or they're referring you to the right person to speak with, and it makes sense to actually take an opportunity with. And also, if they don't, if you call them or you email them and they act all, oh, I don't know what you're talking about, you literally can go back and see that, or you can tell them to go see that they said, yes, I'm interested in a cleaning quote, bid, services, whatever it is, or a walkthrough. That's the nice thing about email, cold email, because you have that track. and you can trace it back to show you responded, yes, you're interested. So let's continue the conversation, even if they potentially get hesitant. Some leads get hesitant after saying yes.
Yes, agreed. One thing that's helped too, and Spencer, you actually built this for us, is that Google Sheets right now, the lead tracking sheet that we have right now. That really helps just going back, and because there's so many leads that come in, you just forget about all of them, So it's good if you keep a log and you keep notes on every single one. I think that's helped us convert as well, because I went back to a few that didn't respond initially, and then it's like, okay, now I still know their situation, so I can go back and call them a few weeks later, and we've had, I think, 1 or 2 of those convert. Yeah, I think that's really helpful. Just kind of getting on that, and then just having that, I think, being organized, and then when you call people, just kind of reminding them of who you are, because they get a million calls a day.
Yes. And I think you guys are really consistent with that and doing a good job. And you can tell that it's working, because you never really know unless you're organized and you have it tracked on who to follow up with or what leads you got in the past. And you also don't really recognize how many leads you got until you go back and look at the sheet. But pivoting towards the impact, you can touch on it in any way. Tell me positive impact in terms of your work life, your business income, revenue, and what it's going to be looking like as we keep going into the future months.
Sure. Positive impact has been just again, with some of these bigger deals, if we close them, there can be quite a bit of money in profit, after we get everything, after we start. And really, I think with some of the deals we've closed so far, it's paid for, we've made money from what we've paid you, for what we pay you every month to get these leads. I think just you close 1 or 2 of these big deals and it just covers all that, plus helps the owner of the company just, pay the cleaners, just have a little bit of extra money to do things with. So it's been successful. I think with big deals, sometimes the profit can be, thousands of dollars a month after everything is considered. So that's been great, especially closing these deals that have, like I said, this autism clinic has 6 different locations. There's been a few other places that have like 2, or we booked we're going to do a walkthrough on Friday that has a place that has 3 locations. It's been really good overall. I think it's kept me fairly busy. Before this, I would just cold call and cold email and cold visit businesses to get business. I'm still a big believer in that. That works really well. It's kind of a little bit more of a numbers game, because you have to, find out who's interested or not. But this is given a little more balance, where we have some, we know that people are at least have a baseline level of interest, and it keeps me busy, but it's working so far. We have a good system where we can just kind of plug these new deals in. Our operations team just takes care of everything, get our cleaners all prepared, and it's definitely upped our average number of monthly deals that we're getting. It's been positive so far. I think it's definitely been a lucrative investment.
Love to hear it. Awesome. And then curious in terms of when we're sending over a lead and when you're taking action on it, if you could just tell people watching this how that process is, what you like about it, and I guess from your perspective, what it's like.
Yeah, what I like about the process, I like how we can see the entire conversation. So someone from Spencer's team will send the initial email. Sometimes they'll do a follow-up email. And so I can see that. I can scroll down and look at the entire conversation that they had with the prospect, and then what the prospect responded, like, sure, give us a call, or, like, how much do you guys charge per hour, or whatever they say. I kind of know how to respond to the email or how to respond to the call, or, what material to send them if that's what they want. So I like that transparency with the conversation. That's extremely helpful. The other thing is the leads, not all the time. Sometimes they'll come in batches, there'll be like 3 or 4 that come in the same time, which can be nice, because it's like, okay, I see them come in, and then I know kind of, okay, I need to get through these. This is a pretty top priority. There's a few times I'm doing something else, but I can try to prioritize these leads that come in, because the quicker you answer, the higher response rate you tend to get.
Very much so.
Yeah. So that's been good. And then I think the templates that you guys use to get the leads are pretty simple, which I like. Pretty straightforward. It's just right to the point. It's usually 2 or 3 sentences max. It just gets right to the point, but it also feels somewhat personalized to, like if you guys are trying to pitch like a medical clinic, you'll say, how do you keep your patient rooms and your waiting area? Like that's very specific to like what a clinic would have. Whereas if it's a restaurant, you would say, how do you keep your kitchen, or how do you keep your customer floors, or whatever it is, So I think you guys do a good job with that too, the scripting.
Appreciate that. That's the AI personalized first line, basically it. scrapes the company website, sees what the company does, what likely needs to be cleaned, and then it does another AI prompt and writes a 14-word maximum thing, trying to poke the bear, get them to think differently about their current solution and get them to read on to the next line, or at least open the email because that's in their preview text of their email inbox. But final parting words, if you can just give some genuine feedback, negative, positive, just in terms of working together and whatever someone watching this can take from it.
Sure. Yeah, no, it's been great working with you and your team, Spencer. I think it's been pretty seamless, like I think with what I like about you guys have a different option of where you guys can kind of weed out, kind of the leads necessarily that we won't want, or you just kind of give an option with pricing as well. I think this is what we're doing now, where it's like, just give us everything and then we'll just kind of sort through it and decide like what leads we want, what works for us and doesn't. So I like that you guys have a few different tiers of how, like, Spencer's team will actually call and email these leads and really vet them well if you want them to do that. Or they can, just kind of get a baseline level of interest, send the lead over to you, and then you can do the vetting yourself, which is what we've been doing. And it's been working well because we can kind of implement our processes and, just kind of decide what we want and don't want. And it's been good. I think there's been quite a few successful leads and quite a few interested leads. And you don't win every deal, but even if you win like a decent percentage of those, like it pays off and makes it well worth the investment.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you have to put money in to get hopefully a lot more money out. Not just the name of the game, especially for prospecting, getting new deals for cleaning companies and janitorial companies. But yeah. Appreciate the time. I look forward to continue helping you grow your business. And I guess we could stop here.
Cool.